Every generation has its defining opportunity. Some came with the Industrial Revolution, some with the birth of the internet, and now we stand at the edge of another transformation, one that will redefine money, wealth, and freedom itself. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It begins quietly while the world isn't paying attention. Most people only realize it after it's too late when the opportunity has already passed, and the few who acted early are living the results everyone else dreams about. That's where we are right now, and that's why this message matters. Because owning crypto can be life-changing, but owning the right crypto at the right time can redefine everything. And few assets in history have had the kind of potential that XRP holds today. Welcome to Crypto Equation, where we uncover the truth behind digital finance, the stories the media won't tell you, and the opportunities hidden in plain sight. This isn't financial advice, this is perspective, the kind that helps you see what's coming before the rest of the world does. Let's start with something simple. The world has never been here before. For the first time in human history, we can move value as easily as information. That sounds small until you understand what it means. Every major financial institution, every government, and every corporation on the planet depends on one thing: liquidity, the ability to move money across borders quickly, efficiently, and securely. Yet the current system can't do that. It was built in the 1970s for paper money, not digital transactions. That's why global payments are slow, expensive, and outdated. Ripple saw that problem years ago and built a solution, XRP. It's not just a cryptocurrency. It's the technology that could power the next global financial architecture. And that's where the life-changing part begins, because moments like this don't happen often. When the structure of money itself changes, everything changes with it. Those who understand the system before the shift build the future. Everyone else tries to join later. The question is, do you understand it yet? Because what's coming isn't another bull run, it's a redefinition of value itself. Central banks are creating digital currencies, governments are rewriting monetary policy and code, and institutions are preparing for instant settlement systems powered by blockchain. XRP is designed for that environment. It's not trying to compete with money, it's becoming the rails for it. That's why its purpose is so misunderstood. It's not a speculative token, it's a bridge and asset that connects every currency, every payment network, and every economy together. And that connection is what will change lives. Think about it. When you own XRP, you aren't just holding a digital coin. You're holding a piece of the financial infrastructure of the future. That's like owning part of the internet in the 1990s or part of the railroads during the Industrial Revolution. Most people won't see it until it's obvious, but by then the upside will be gone. Every technological revolution follows this pattern: disbelief, resistance, adoption, domination. Right now, XRP sits between resistance and adoption, and once adoption begins, disbelief turns into regret faster than anyone expects. But let's go deeper, because life-changing isn't just about price appreciation, it's about freedom. The current financial system traps people in cycles of debt, inflation, and delay. Every transaction goes through layers of intermediaries who charge for the privilege of using your own money. Blockchain breaks that chain. It gives people direct access to value and removes the friction that kept wealth concentrated at the top. That's why crypto matters. It's not just about profit, it's about participation. It's about taking back control of your financial destiny. And XRP's role in that story is critical, because it's the bridge between the old world and the new one. When you own it, you're not fighting the system, you're front-running its evolution. That's why the biggest names in finance are quietly studying it, while the public debates it. They know where the world is heading, and they know that liquidity is the foundation of that future. Every digital asset has a narrative, but XRP has a purpose, and purpose always outlasts hype. When Bitcoin was created, it gave birth to decentralization. When Ethereum arrived, it gave us smart contracts. But when XRP achieves full adoption, it will give us connection, the ability to move value across every network seamlessly. That's the layer the world has been missing, and it's the layer Ripple is building right now. So when people ask why XRP has so many believers, the answer is simple. It's because we've seen this story before. Every major innovation starts small, ignored by the majority, and recognized by the few who see the pattern. Those few are always told they're crazy until the world catches up. And when the world finally does, they're the ones holding the keys to a new era. But let's get personal for a moment, because this isn't just about macroeconomics. It's about your life, your goals, and your mindset. Wealth is built from perspective, not chance. The people who change their lives through opportunities like XRP aren't gamblers, they're learners. They understand the long game. They know that volatility is temporary, but progress is permanent. They see that markets move in cycles, but technology moves in one direction forward. If you're one of those people, then you already understand what's at stake here. You're not just buying a coin, you're buying time to be early, before the rest of the world understands what it missed. That's what makes this moment so powerful. Right now, we're still in the noise phase. Regulation debates, lawsuits, speculation, fear. But underneath all of that, adoption continues to grow. Ripple is expanding across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Financial corridors that used to take days to process transactions are now settling in seconds using XRP. The technology works, it's proven, and once regulation catches up, it will scale. When that happens, the price discussion will become a necessity, not a theory, because liquidity assets must be valued according to the volume they move. The more the world uses it, the higher its value must be to support it. That's simple economics, and it's why owning even a small amount today can make a massive difference later. But what makes this truly life-changing isn't the potential number on a screen, it's what that number represents. Freedom of choice, financial independence, and participation in the next era of money. People spend their whole lives trying to find an opportunity that can elevate them from survival to security and from security to freedom. This is one of those moments. But it doesn't come easy. It requires patience and conviction. It requires believing in logic when emotions want to take over. Because the truth is, the system doesn't want everyone to win. If it did, everyone would already be free. Real wealth comes to those who study while others sleep, who act while others wait. That's what owning XRP represents. It's not just financial exposure, it's awareness. Awareness that the old system can't last forever. Awareness that innovation always replaces inefficiency. Awareness that the biggest opportunities always look risky until they become obvious. That's why you're hearing this now, before the headlines, before the panic, before the world realizes what happened. Every investor's journey begins with uncertainty and ends with clarity. The only question is whether you're willing to walk through the uncertainty to reach the clarity. Because once this transition completes, once banks adopt blockchain liquidity, once CBDCs connect to global networks, once RippleNet becomes the standard, those who held will understand what conviction really means. They'll understand that this wasn't luck, it was preparation. And preparation always pays the highest reward. Let's talk about how this really happens, because people love to imagine life-changing wealth as some miracle event, a single day, where everything changes, but it doesn't work like that. It happens slowly, quietly in stages. First comes awareness, then conviction, then positioning, and finally the payoff. The same story repeats across history. Every time a breakthrough technology reshapes the world, it's the people who saw the shift early who end up living differently later. That's what's happening with crypto right now. This is the awareness stage, the part where the noise is loudest and the conviction is hardest. But if you stay focused through it, you reach the stage. Most never touch the stage of realization. And that's where everything changes, not because you got lucky, but because you stayed ready. XRP isn't about luck, it's about logic. It's the result of years of development partnerships and persistence. While other projects chase attention, Ripple built relationships with the very institutions that define the global financial system. And that's what makes it powerful. Every government, every central bank, and every corporate treasury needs liquidity to move money. That's what XRP provides. It's the lubricant for the new economy, the asset that allows trillions to move seamlessly across borders. And when that demand hits, retail investors won't be able to catch up because the price will have already moved. That's why owning it now, while it's quiet, is the smartest thing you can do, because when the music starts, everyone will rush to the dance floor, but the doors will already be closed. That's how every major financial shift happens in 1995. People laughed at the idea of shopping online. By 2005, it was obvious. In 2010, people dismissed electric cars by 2020. They were fighting for them in 2013. People ignored crypto. By 2025, they'll be living inside it, and XRP will be at the center because it doesn't just exist on blockchain. It connects them. It's the asset that will make digital money interoperable between systems and countries. And when that happens, the world will finally understand what this was all about: liquidity, efficiency, and speed. When you own XRP, you own a stake in the next phase of global money movement. And that's why it can be life-changing. But life-changing isn't just about wealth, it's about meaning. What will you do with the freedom that comes when your patience pays off? How will you use it? Will you build something? Will you teach others? Will you change your family's trajectory? That's what separates temporary gain from generational wealth, because generational wealth isn't about numbers, it's about knowledge. The knowledge to use what you earn to make a difference. That's what holding XRP represents. It's not just investment, it's education. Every time you study this space, you're learning how money really works. You're learning what the news never teaches. And that awareness itself is power, because once you understand the game, you can never be manipulated by it again. You'll see through the noise, you'll act on truth. And that's when you win. This is why most people miss opportunities. They don't look deeper. They wait for approval from a world that rewards obedience instead of foresight. But history doesn't remember the obedient. It remembers the pioneers, those who took the step before the crowd, those who believed before proof. And that's what XRP investors are today. The pioneers of digital value, the believers before validation, the ones who will one day look back and realize they were living through history while others were scrolling past it. Every major transformation feels uncomfortable at first. It has to, because change challenges comfort. But comfort never built wealth. Discomfort did. Patience did. Conviction did. And if you hold those three traits long enough, you win. The coming years will test that patience as markets rise and fall, as narratives shift, as fear circulates, but beneath it all, the trend remains unstoppable. The world is digitizing value at every level, from banks to governments to private companies. The rails are being rebuilt in real time, and XRP sits in the middle, quietly doing its job, faster, cheaper, better. And that's what will win, not speculation, but superiority when something is clearly better. It wins eventually, no matter how long the denial lasts. And when it does, those who recognized it first are rewarded beyond expectation. Imagine the moment you check your portfolio and realize the world has caught up to what you already knew. The feeling isn't shock, it's satisfaction. The understanding that you didn't just invest, you understood. That's the difference between gambling and foresight. Foresight builds futures. And right now you're holding it in your hands. So what does life-changing really mean? It means breaking free from limitation, from the idea that your financial destiny is controlled by systems you don't understand. It means taking back control through knowledge, through ownership. Through participation, it means waking up every day knowing you positioned yourself when it mattered most. And that one decision set the stage for everything that followed. That's what this journey is really about, not the number, but the transformation, the mental shift from follower to forecaster, from consumer to creator. Because when you own assets like XRP, you aren't just watching history, you're shaping it. Every coin represents a piece of belief, a piece of foresight, a decision that you trusted your understanding over the crowd. And one day when this system matures, when digital assets run the world and XRP stands at the center, you'll realize that belief was worth more than anything, because belief created freedom, and freedom is priceless. Every bull run ends, every chart corrects, but freedom once earned never fades. And that's what makes owning crypto life-changing. It's not coin, it's the consciousness. It gives you the ability to see through illusions, to question the old system, to realize that money isn't fixed, it's fluid, and those who understand that rule the future. So as you watch this, remember you are early. You are aware, and you are part of something most people won't understand until it's too late. Don't underestimate that, because the hardest part of any revolution is simply recognizing that it's happening, and you've already done that now. It's about patience and persistence, because the greatest rewards come to those who wait through the noise until the world catches up. The next few years will be defining, not just for XRP, but for humanity's relationship with money. For the first time, value will move as fast as thought, and the barriers that once separated economies will vanish. When that happens, everything will change: how we trade, how we invest, how we save, and how we build. And the assets that make it possible will be remembered as the catalysts of that change. XRP will be one of them. It already is, and by the time the world acknowledges it, you'll already be holding it. This is what it means when we say owning crypto can be life-changing, because it's not about chance, it's about choice. And every choice you make with awareness brings you closer to freedom. So stay focused, stay patient, and never forget what you're part of, because history isn't coming. It's already here, and those who recognize it before it becomes obvious will be the ones telling the story when it's over. This is Crypto Equation, reminding you that the future doesn't wait, and neither should you. The world is changing faster than anyone imagines, and your decision to act today could be the moment that changes everything forever.